Are you struggling to edit your own writing? Are you tired of staring at the same draft for hours on end? Have you been looking at your draft for so long that you can no longer see the mistakes, the gaps in logic, and other problems in the text? Editing your own work can be challenging. So in this video, I'll share 10 strategies that you can use to stop overlooking the problems in your draft and start improving your writing. And if we haven't met, hello, my name is Crystal. I'm a trained biomedical scientist turned clinical researcher and now scientific and medical editor. Since 2011, I've collaborated with researchers to help them publish in high-impact journals and secure federal and foundation funding. And I've trained thousands of researchers and other professional writers all over the world to equip them with the principles, resources, and systems that they need to write well. So let's get to the 10 strategies that can help you stop overlooking problems in your writing. The first strategy is to take some time away from the text. When you take some time away, you can reset your thinking and come back to the draft with fresh eyes. So when you are planning your writing process, be sure to build in extra time to get some distance from the text. Schedule in at least a few days, even a few weeks, so that you can step away from the text. And even better if you can do it several times throughout the writing process. Now, I know this can be challenging if you are really close to the due date and you can't get away for a few weeks or even a few days. So even just a few hours or minutes away from the text can be really helpful, but you need to really step away from the text, not just work on a different task at your computer. So to get a little distance from your text, you can take a walk outside in nature or in your neighborhood. You can call a friend to chat for a few minutes or play with your dog. Anything just to give your mind a break from the text. The second strategy is to move to a different environment. So your environment can affect your thinking and your productivity. So to get a fresh perspective on your writing, you can take your draft to a new environment. But choose a place that best supports your focus and attention. So if you like to work with background noise, head to a coffee shop or a local park. But if you need a quiet environment like I do, head to a library or a co-working space or even just a different room in your home or your building. The third strategy is to view the text on a different device. So when you review your draft on a different device, you can change the layout of your text, which can help you to see the writing through a new lens. So instead of doing all your writing on your desktop computer, you might review your draft on a laptop, a tablet, or even a different desktop computer. And if you are working on a portable device, you might even combine the change in device with a new environment so that you can double up on your strategies to get a fresh perspective. The fourth strategy is to print out the document and review the text on paper. Now, I know that this option is not environmentally friendly, but it is a great way to see the text with a fresh perspective. And you can also break out some colorful pens and highlighters to mark up the draft. And I actually often use multiple colors and a color coding system to indicate certain types of changes that I want to make. And you can take the printed draft to a new environment to double up on your approach to getting a fresh perspective. The fifth strategy is to change the format of the text. So even small changes to the formatting can make your draft seem new and different. For example, you might change the font type or size. You might also adjust the margins or change the spacing from single to double space or vice versa. Or you might divide the text into 2 columns. There are a number of ways that you can change the formatting, and these changes can make your text appear different so that you can more easily spot problems in the writing. The sixth strategy is to read the text aloud to yourself. When you read the text aloud, you slow down your reading so that you can hear any problems with your writing as you read through the text. For example, if you have to pause in the middle of a sentence to take a breath, the sentence is likely too long. Or if you trip over some of the words, the sentence might be awkwardly phrased, or you might be missing a word. Or if you're writing with co-authors, you might more easily notice when the voice or the tone shifts based on who wrote a certain section of the draft. The 7th strategy is to use a screen reading tool. So you can use the read aloud feature in your word processing software, or you can use a screen reader or another app. And in these tools, you can often change the voice or adjust the speed. And so when you hear the writing in a different voice or at a different speed, you can get a different perspective on the text. Now, sometimes these tools can sound pretty mechanical, but this is getting better with a lot of different AI tools that are out there. So play around with the tools and the settings and the voices until you find something that you really like. The 8th strategy is to read the text backward. Now, what I mean by this is that you want to read the text backward sentence by sentence. So start with the very last sentence of the draft or the paragraph or the section that you might be working on. Then move to the second to last sentence, then the third to last sentence, and so on. Now, this approach won't help you identify the larger issues, such as the gaps in logic or problems with the story structure. But it can help you with line editing so that you can more easily spot sentence level problems, such as issues with sentence structure, problems with sentence length, or changes you might want to make to word choice. But after using this background approach, be sure to read the text forward again to ensure that everything flows smoothly. The 9th strategy is to ask a trusted colleague or friend for feedback. This can be a really valuable way to uncover problems with your writing. A trusted colleague or friend can bring a fresh pair of eyes and a different perspective to how your writing can be improved. Now, there are 2 ways to go about this, and both have advantages and disadvantages. One way is to choose a colleague who is an expert in your field. So if someone is an expert in your field, they can give you great technical feedback. However, they may face the same curse of knowledge as you and may not be able to see some of the problems in the text, such as gaps in logic or some structural issues. So I talked about the curse of knowledge in a previous video, so I won't go into detail on what that means here, but I will add a link to that video to the description so that you can watch it to learn more about that if you want to. Now, you can also choose someone who isn't an expert in your field. And so this person may not be able to give you technical advice, but they can help you spot when the curse of knowledge is at play. And they can help you make the writing more accessible to a broader audience, which means that your writing will have a greater reach and impact. The last strategy is the most valuable way to learn how to improve your writing. And this strategy is to collaborate with a professional editor. A skilled professional editor can bring a fresh and trained pair of eyes to your writing to help your text and you shine. A skilled editor can spot when you are facing the curse of knowledge. They can spot gaps in logic. They can ensure that all the essential details are included. They can help you make the writing clearer and more accessible to a broader audience. They can help you write more persuasively, and they can help you meet dreaded word, page, and character limits. There are so many benefits to working with a professional editor. And if you work with a really good editor, they will invest time and effort into helping you uncover any trends or habits that you might have in your writing so that you can pinpoint your unique challenges and master the craft of writing well. And this is actually something that I do with my students in my Scientific Writing Simplified course. In case you're curious about it, I'll add a link to the description box. So those are my 10 strategies you can use to stop overlooking problems in your draft and start improving your writing. And if you like this video, you might also like this one about how to overcome the curse of knowledge that we all face in our writing. And if there's something in particular that you'd like to learn more about, let me know in the comments. I create these videos for you, so I want to make sure that I'm creating something that you will find valuable. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video.